thank you very much. This is a very sad day for America, and it was also very sad driving through Washington, D.C. and seeing the filth and the decay and all of the broken buildings and walls and the graffiti. This is not the place that I left.
Perhaps Donald Trump forgets the D.C. that he left. Unrecognizable as it was, boarded up with barricades, barbed wire and battalions on high alert after thousands of his followers stormed the Capitol and ransacked its sacred halls, all to upend the certification of Joe Biden as president on January the 6th, 2021. And it's for his role in that alleged criminal plot that Donald Trump was summoned back to Washington, D.C. yesterday. With grey clouds suitably hanging overhead, he cut a defiant yet solitary figure. No fist pumps today, as the wannabe next president descended the loftily named Trump Force One and made the short trip via long motorcade to a federal courthouse to be arrested and charged. Outside, the party was already in full swing. This is Washington, D.C., of course. People here remember how it felt on January the 6th, and they wanted Trump to feel and see their joy at prosecutors finally holding him to account.
Keep on moving! Keep on moving!
These fake news media, they're sick people. They're sick people.
Everybody knows it.
I did everything right. I did everything right, and they indicted me. Can you believe it?
That, in fact, was exactly what was happening inside, where court sketches showed the former president pleading not guilty to 4 separate criminal charges that he had conspired to allegedly spread his lies about election fraud, knowing they were false, to pressure state and federal officials, including his own vice president, to throw out votes for Joe Biden and install him as president instead. And he's pled not guilty. Do you think he's not guilty?
No, I think he's guilty as sin.
Back outside, the polarized America that Donald Trump left behind was on full display and full volume.
These are criminals!
Trump for king! Trump for king!
But based on what I've seen so far, I do think he's guilty of a lot of very serious crimes against our democracy.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
What he's accused of doing here is probably one of the most serious crimes to have taken place in this country ever, allegedly.
If all politicians were indicted for everything they did, that would probably be also the worst in American history. If we indict one, we should indict them all.
And it seems that we're at a point where our justice system doesn't seem to matter, at least to half America and to a lot of members of Congress and Republicans. They don't seem to care.
So you're a young person who voted for Trump in 2020?
I did.
Do you think he won the election?
No, I mean, he didn't.
Are you saying he must have known he lost, you would still vote for him again?
Over Biden, for sure.
How do you explain the grit that he has on the party? Even young people with their whole future ahead of them, they are wanting to go back to him.
There is a faction, about a third of it, who are always Trump voters. They will walk through a wall of flame for Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump has an enormous lead in the polls. And yes, we are facing a completely unprecedented situation. There's so much that's going to occur between now and the nomination next summer. We'll be very, very hard pressed to make any certain predictions about how this whole thing is going to turn out.
And all the while, his competitors are getting no airtime at all.
He's like this big figure that blots out the sun. And none of his competitors are going to be able to get enough sunlight to flower and bloom.
And so reporters scurry across the tarmac to wait on defendant Trump's every word. "I need one more indictment to ensure my election," he posted later. His wish may come true all too soon, as prosecutors in Georgia prepare to land their criminal charges against him as early as next week.